Hey guys, it's Joe B. I'm here with the Mach 1 again. This is part 10. I wanted to do a little bit more follow-up because we had a little bit more work to do. As you know, this is a 1970 Mach 1 with a 351 Cleveland, so I had to get a special bracket in order to mount the Saginaw pump to the water pump. The two bolts that they had included, they have a funky giant size Allen wrench that I don't have the size for, so I just used the regular bolts that I was mounting to the water pump with to get those done. The Saginaw pump came with a bracket that would work with a Windsor, but of course I cannot use this bracket, so I'm having to use the silver one you've seen before. I'm currently in the process of using my power steering pulley puller. I'll just show that to you real quick. To take the pulley off so that I can mount the Saginaw pump to the bracket, which will then mount to the water pump. After I get the bracket on, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bracket onto the pump and then put the bracket onto the water pump, because I'm of course going to have to use some muscle with the breaker bar, etc., in order to get the pulley back on after I've got the bracket mounted appropriately, which, as they're showing me, it's going to mount to, it looks like a couple of here, and then there's one down here that we're going to use a spacer for. Now when you get the bracket for the Cleveland, it's going to come with the instructions, and it's pretty cool because it shows you a picture of how it looks when it's mounted. So you see, these are the two little Allen wrench sized bolts that mount to the water pump that I don't have the large enough Torx for. But despite that, I'm still going to use the ones I've got, and the instructions are really nice as far as showing it mounting, showing where it's going to go on the adjustment, and it also came with a list of parts, which are really cool for measuring up to see exactly what I'm going to need to use. So I was pretty excited to have all of those items. I also want to point out one more thing. If I had to do it again, I would just buy the Borgeson power steering adapter for the power steering drag link. The reason for it is the pitman arm that was on my steering box did not have the bolt and castle nut to mate to the manual drag link. It was just a hole. So I had the pitman arm was a hole and the drag link was a hole, and that's not going to work. So I went to Kentucky Mustang and I got a manual steering pitman arm, and I mounted that to the Borgeson box. I'm probably at about 80 or 90 pounds of torque right now. I have to use the breaker bar to get it a little bit tighter, but it's on and it's very strong right now. But I wanted to point that out to you guys because switching to the manual drag link was a big headache that I would rather have avoided. So I wanted to give you another quick update. We're going to take another quick look here. The Saginaw pump, of course, is going to be right here. The pulley is going to be right here. And I've got my, I don't know, I'm losing words here. I've got my belt down there. It's going to get up onto the pulley. So what I'll do is I'll attach the Saginaw pump to this bracket. It's just mocked up right now, just make sure it fits. Then I will carry the whole thing over here and I'll strap it on, and the reasoning is so that I can have the pump and the bracket out on the floor so that I can get the right amount of power and pressure on the torque in order to get that pulley back on after I place the bolts through. So after these are bolted on, at least loose, because you can't fit that giant 1.5 inch bolt in between here with the pulley mounted to the pump. Quick update, this was part 10. Hope everything's doing good for you guys. This is Joe B with the Mach 1. Thanks.